and let us know what we're seeing. Let me know. Right now, though, it looks like we're just seeing a blank black screen at this time. Oh, there we are. Okay. All right, so there was just a little bit of a delay. Sorry for that. All right, so we are good to go here. So again, let me bring you up to date on what's going on. We have a severe thunderstorm warning, and we'll take this full, and I'll be able to point out to what's happening here. We've got Wood. We got a little small portion of Smith County right here, and Upshur County, Wood County also in this severe thunderstorm warning. And then there's a separate warning for a portion of Gregg County that does not include the city of Longview. And then western parts of Harrison and most of Marion County that does include the city of Jefferson. Marshall is also included in that. There is a thunderstorm right now in Longview, but that thunderstorm in Longview is not considered severe at this time. So we've seen some gusty winds in association with these thunderstorms as they've moved now to the northeast side of Lindale. So that's what we're looking at currently. So severe thunderstorm warnings. And then on top of that, let me widen out for you so you get an idea. There isn't much else going on at this time. There are some scattered showers, thunderstorms. One in northern Rusk County, a little shower that has developed. Another thunderstorm down in Shelby County around Center, and a little thunderstorm in southern Rusk County right between Caledonia and Mount Enterprise. So that's what we have currently. So again, this is a live update. I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. There's also a thunderstorm currently in the city of Lufkin, right up onto the Nacogdoches County line near Davisville and Dunnigan. So a little thunderstorm that has developed over deep East Texas. Let me put this into motion for us and get a feel for the direction and movement of these thunderstorms. Interesting to note, let's take this image full if we can, and you'll notice how this is sort of trying to form into a line. This may be our first cluster of showers and thunderstorms that we see early this afternoon. We'll see a second one that will develop later in the day toward evening out to the northwest back toward the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Now the questions remain, where will that second cluster of showers and thunderstorms move? There is some suggestion that it moves toward Corsicana, Athens, and Palestine, and maybe brushes by a portion of Cherokee County, and that what we're seeing here initially this afternoon may be the biggest show for most of East Texas between now and 5 p.m. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch until 5 o'clock. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any questions coming in. We have a few viewers out there, 44 right now on our stream. So let me know what you're experiencing, if you live up in those counties over parts of Upshur County and Wood. Right now, Upshur County is probably in the middle of this thunderstorm, getting hit the hardest, I should say, or feeling the brunt of this thunderstorm. I'll stop this and then zoom in on some of these counties. And again, let's take this full if we can, so we can kind of detail some of these cities in here. You'll be able to see Ore City is in the middle of that. If I turn off the lightning, you'll see that Harleton and Diana and Ronesboro and Hawkins and Orrs and Jefferson are all included in this, including Brumley and Lodi, and over toward Marshall, we also have quite a bit of lightning that will be moving in. There is heavy rainfall coming down with this. Can we take this full? Let's take this full, and then we'll be able to show everyone where these severe thunderstorm warnings are right now. Again, there's Upshur County and Wood County. That goes until 1 o'clock, so that's about another 10 minutes. And then until 1:15, that's going to be for Marion and Harrison County. So can we take this full, please? So there it is. Okay, so now we have the image full, so you can see what we're dealing with here. Thunderstorms down into Longview and Kilgore. If I back this up just a little bit, maybe we can see the direction of movement it's going. It's sort of moving east, south, eastward. It does have the directional speed on these showers and thunderstorms roughly 12 to 20 miles an hour. So they're not moving especially fast. Because of that, I think we do have some concern with these showers and thunderstorms of just causing some flooding as they move into those areas. So again, these are moving just kind of to the southeast here. You'll see I'm slowly moving that. There is one Titan indicator that came up. A Titan indicator is what we use to look inside these storms, kind of dissect them, get a feel for what they may be producing inside that storm. And so this one that is currently over in Gregg County, Marion County, and Harrison County in southeastern Upshur County has some maybe nickel-sized hail in it. It is moving to the southeast at 21 miles an hour. The probability of hail in there is 50%. The probability that it's severe hail now is down to 10%. So maybe the hail core itself inside that storm may be coming down just a little bit to where we don't we don't have to worry about large hail. But again, sometimes these storms can pulse up and then pulse back down. You can see it's trying to develop off to the southwest, and now I see another one of these strengthening hail cores over parts of northern Smith County. So let's zoom in on that, and that's going to be between Hawkins and Lindale right now. So let me know if you live between Hawkins and Lindale, what you're experiencing. That looks like some very large hail. Our Titan indicator is indicating some very large hail between Hawkins and Lindale right now. And I'll look for the Weather Service to see if they can corroborate any of what we're seeing there. So if you are between Hawkins and Lindale, there is a possibility that there is some very large hail inside that cell. In fact, what I'll do here is we'll try to pull the hail cores up on this storm and maybe give you an idea of what we're looking at. So let me pull the hail over top of this cell. I'll turn it on first. And let's see, let me have to turn off the lightning a minute. So, all right, we're going to turn off the lightning. All right, so you know you have a lot of lightning. There it is. Okay, so yeah, so in that blue area, so in that blue, we're getting some larger hail. Let me just kind of ping in on that. So that's going to be at least quarter-sized hail. So that's going to be quarter-sized hail. Let me zoom in this area here toward, that's right where I'm looking at, right there toward Hawkins. So between Lindale and Hawkins, it's going to be right around FM 2710, just to the southwest of County Road 3375. FM 14 coming up here. It's going to be just west of that, just to the northeast of the city of Lindale. It looks like a hail core producing potentially maybe some quarter-sized hail in there, slightly larger than an inch, at least is what our Titan indicator is producing in that storm cell at this time. So I'll put that back on again. It's a very strong updraft within that cell that suggests that it has the possibility of producing some larger hailstones inside that storm. Let me take the size down on it a little bit so you can see more of the hail core. So there it is. Okay. Let's widen it out a little bit. That hail core and the movement of it is just kind of developed right there. It's kind of moving to the northeast a little bit with the rest of the storm. So if it's moving in this direction toward Hawkins. So it's moving toward Hawkins. So it should be into Hawkins at about 15 minutes. So if you live in Hawkins, you expect at least a period of quarter-sized hail to move into Hawkins right now with this storm. It is warned on the northern side of it. We'll see if a severe thunderstorm warning isn't extended down into the southern part of this cell between Lindale and Winona right now, because it looks like it could be, considering what we're seeing in terms of the hail core on that cell. All right, let me go back and widen things back out for you. So that cell right there on the northern side of that near Hawkins and Gilmer, that's currently under a severe thunderstorm warning until 1 o'clock. The other warning goes until 1:15. So this may get extended. In fact, let's see, that was from the Weather Service for one of the counties up in Arkansas. So let me go and check out a couple of things here, getting reports. Let's see, so we have that full again. Let me check some reports. I appreciate everybody watching this afternoon. The tops in the trees are moving like in circles. It's a weird color outside, raining hard, no lightning. Tracy, whereabouts are you? Please let me know. Tracy Francis, let me know where you are. So I'm imagining you're probably somewhere east of Mineola, maybe between Mineola and Gilmer, maybe up toward the Hawkins area. Also at this time, the weird color in the sky would correlate with the hail that would be in the thunder. Jackie Mecklin said lots of rain and thunder. Oh, Spring Hill and Longview. Oh, okay. Let's go over to the Spring Hill Longview area and check out where we may be. All right, well, that would make a little bit of sense. Yeah, there's maybe a developing hail core there. It looks like there may be a little bit of circulation just to the south of that toward Gregton. Let's see, what is this from the Weather Service? That's probably for Shreveport. They've issued an airport weather warning, and that is going to be for Shreveport Regional Airport. All right, so that's not Smith or Gregg County. Okay. Jason, thanks for watching here. Let's see. Let me go on down the line. And so some ominous looking skies over in the Spring Hill area around Longview. Longview right now, heavy rainfall coming down. Let's see if there's any hail in this cell around the Longview area. That's a little bit of hail. So that's probably what you're seeing too in the Spring Hill area, is that there is a bunch of ice inside of these thunderstorms. And so you're seeing a little bit of that ice, and the hail gives it a greenish color or a weird looking color, because as the sunlight above the clouds comes down through the clouds, of course, it gets bent and it's reflected, and we say refracted, and as it does, it spits out the wavelengths of color that we see sometimes as green, or like a very odd color that we'll see out of some of this. Let me try this. I'm trying to make the lightning appearance a little bit smaller, just so we can, let me go back to that again. Make this just a little smaller so we can see some of the other. So around Judson, Hallsville, Walker's Mill, if you're in Gum Springs, if you're in those areas right there, you're probably getting almost a hailstorm or a hail shower right now. Let me know if that's correlating. That's what radar is indicating, that there's quite a bit of hail with those cells between Walker's Mill and Longview. Let's see, Weather Service just updating this as a strong thunderstorm will impact portions of northeastern Smiths, southeastern Wood, western Upshur through 1:30. So not a severe thunderstorm warning as of this point on this cell back here to the west that I was showing you that hail core on around Hawkins. They're going to extend what we call a special weather statement, or a significant weather alert on this cell here. I'll circle this for you so you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be this cell right in here, where at least our Titan indicator is picking up some larger hailstones in excess of a quarter. That would be a severe thunderstorm if it was warranted, or if if it did look like that cell was producing some quarter-sized hail. So you get around an inch, which is basically quarter in diameter. Then that's when you start to get into a severe thunderstorm warned cell. So it's got to be up about a quarter in size. Looks like we do have a nice little core in there right now. Let me zoom in back here toward Hawkins. In fact, it looks like the hail core has come up a little bit. That darker blue area has gotten just a little bit bigger. So it would be right there to the west of FM 2710, just north of FM 14. So you're coming out west of Winona. So that's going to be east of Lindale, between Lindale and Winona right now. There's a nice little hail core still headed toward the city of Hawkins. So here's Hawkins. There's that hail core with potentially quarter-sized hail. It may be a little bit under, maybe a little bit below quarter-sized hail. It could be just it might be up there Nichols to close to quarter-sized hail. But again, that's going to head into Hawkins. This is going to be a hailstorm where you're just getting showered on with a lot of hail. In fact, it just shifted to the east toward Big Sandy a little bit, toward Hawkins, and that hail core expanded a little bit. So we've got a significant hailstorm going on right now near FM 14 west of Big Sandy. If you live in that area and you can safely share any pictures with us, let us know. Weather Service, again, on this cell is going with a significant weather alert on that cell till 1:30. So the severe thunderstorm warning itself has been dropped off that cell. Still have the severe thunderstorm warning till 1:15 for the cell that is over Diana, Harleton, and Nesbitt, and up toward Woodlawn and Ore City. And then that's north of Interstate 20. I'm going to put this into motion real fast for you. So you can see how fast this is kind of developing here. It was severe, or there were showers and thunderstorms north of that area. This is over the last 2 hours. So just in 2 hours' time, we've gone from virtually nothing up around Quitman to all of this large cluster of thunderstorms. And this is what we're talking about for today, was large clusters of thunderstorms producing some large hail. And now these storms are moving into Tatum and Darko over toward Elysian Fields. Marshall, Karnak right now getting. Anybody that you might know that's on Caddo Lake fishing, they probably need to get off the lake pretty quickly because this big cluster of thunderstorms is heading right into Caddo. Hawkins, right now, again, that cell is moving in. We talked about it. If you live in Hawkins, we said this several different times, you're going to get a hailstorm into Hawkins, especially the south side of Hawkins. And at this point, that looks like it's also headed over to Big Sandy. So large hail in excess of quarters is possible in Hawkins and Big Sandy here in the next few minutes. So keep an eye out for that. That hail core has expanded a little bit. Let's see, hail in Woodlawn, says Rebecca. All right, Woodlawn, that makes sense. And I'm sure, Rebecca, it may be coming down to the point where it looks like it's almost snowing. If our radar indicator over here at Woodlawn, and it looks like that has expanded also just a little bit in that Woodlawn area up over toward Longview and Gum Springs and Hallsville. So that's gotten a little bit wider at this time and intensified just a little bit. Let me stop this. As we stop it, we'll be able to widen things back out. White Oak, Longview right now seeing some hail. Longview, though, still not in the severe thunderstorm warning, but it doesn't mean that you're not getting some significant hail at this time. I'm going back to, let's go back to Brownsboro, where the thunderstorm continues to develop, and now at Tyler Pounds, also seeing some showers and thunderstorms moving into Tyler Pounds. I'm going to give you a live look outside. This is going to be our CBS 19 studio camera. Let's take a look at this camera image full, and you'll notice the lower clouds on the horizon above the billboard there. And as I look at it from this perspective, it just looks like it's heavy rain. There's a sharp base on that, so I'm not real worried about any type of lowering. To the left of that a little bit, over top of the Walgreens, if you can see it, that's a rain shaft, perhaps, probably wouldn't be a hail shaft at this point, but a rain shaft. And then that darker cloud is looking north. That's likely looking into one farther to the right above the billboard. That's likely looking into that cell that's in the distance that's going to be over Hawkins. So where that cell is over Hawkins toward Big Sandy, right in here. So our camera's pointed out looking to the north from our vantage point here on the southeast side of the loop. So that's looking up into that darker cloud that I just showed you. So Hawkins and Big Sandy are continuing to see what may be a decent amount of hail. Again, our radar indicates that it could be getting up closer to a quarter in size. Looks like the hail core's come down just a little bit as it's moving into Hawkins right now. So that's good news. But also hail being reported in Woodlawn. Raining in sheets, thunder made windows shake, and lightning, says Tracy Duncan. And Tracy's in the Spring Hill area. So if you're in Spring Hill area, over by Longview, just to the northwest, and it looks like there's a little more hail that's developed out there. And the hail core has come up over toward Hallsville also. But Tracy's in the Spring Hill area toward Teneryville, Gum Springs, out just to the northwest of Longview, out in the White Oak area, Judson, East Mountain. So a lot of rain there. It looks like the lightning's come down just a little bit in that vicinity. I'll take the hail back and below the rain layer again, just so we can see it. But you can see all that rain that is essentially coming down with these cells. Looks like the lightning has dropped off a little bit. I'm curious about that because there was a lot of lightning just a minute ago. The fact that it's kind of fallen off here has me a little. We'll have to see what happens. It may come back up a little bit. I did lower the lightning strike size down. Oh, there's a bunch more popping back in. Okay, so now we're starting to see more popping back up. So some of those might have been some older strikes that had faded off, but there should be a fair amount of lightning with that. So again, currently we have the severe thunderstorm warning for till 1:15, and that is going to include eastern Upshur County, very northern Gregg County, northern parts of Harrison County, and most of Marion County till 1:15. So we'll stay on with this severe thunderstorm warning till 1:15, and then we may take a break unless we get another warning on this. But let me walk you through everything here. So that's the current live picture outside from the CBS 19 studio. This is going to be our visible satellite. I show you this because where you see the brighter whites over Gilmer, Longview, that's the thunderstorms. And why? The reason that this is going to be brighter white is because there's more reflectivity on the tops of these clouds. These clouds are shooting up maybe 40, 50,000 feet into the air, so the sun is reflecting. They're very bright, they're very dense, and so the sun's reflection is coming back and the satellite's picking that up. There's also some maybe clusters of showers and thunderstorms, Nacogdoches down toward Lufkin. What we'd want to look for here would be, see these little bubbles? Those are little bubbles or cumulus clouds trying to bubble up. Right now I don't see anything that's about ready to pop or to turn into thunderstorms. There are also a bunch of cumulus clouds out toward Monroe, but right now we just have that thunderstorm that is over top of the area that's under a severe thunderstorm watch. We have a severe thunderstorm watch. It does include Cherokee County. It does include Smith County. It includes Wood County. So Cherokee County, want to watch that in Jacksonville especially because of the Tomato Fest going on. Nacogdoches County is included in that, Henderson and Carthage. So this first cluster is coming through here this afternoon till 5. We'll wait and see if anything else, it likely will redevelop northwest and west, but where does it go? So let's take a look at Future Skycast. And this is somewhat handling this okay. It's not perfect, but it's doing okay. Let's take this full. And I'll put this into motion. And so as we play this through, you see that one cluster goes in, and then that second cluster moves in later tonight. So by no means are we done with that second cluster coming in after maybe 7 o'clock. Let me see if I can grab this and back it up. It's not going to let me grab it up and back it up. But anyway, between I would think 6 and 9, that second line would come through. Now we'll wait and see if that's got any energy with it. Certainly it's over by 10:30 or 11 o'clock tonight, and so when we go to bed tonight, we don't have to worry about overnight severe weather. There is a chance for additional showers and thunderstorms moving in tomorrow evening also. All right, and then we'll play that out through Monday, 1 a.m. All right, so the area of concern for the biggest thunderstorms this afternoon is going to be in that dark red area. So that's going to include Gilmer, Longview, even Tyler, even maybe Jacksonville to center to Longview. This is the area also under the severe thunderstorm watch. We've got this boundary up to the north and a stationary boundary. And sometimes on stationary boundaries, you'll get little waves. So heavy rain would also be a concern. And then that frontal boundary out to the northwest likely is stalling. I don't think that comes through. We don't see much of a temperature difference on one side of the front or the other. But as slowly as these thunderstorms are moving, we do have to be concerned for some heavy rainfall. The rainfall amounts you'll notice here in these dark reds could be 2.5 to 4 inches. And some of the purples, 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rainfall. And that could all fall in a very short period of time. And when I say a very short period of time, within 3 or 4 hours. So that's a ½ inch an hour. Maybe in some instances, it all falls within a couple of hours. You get 1 or 2 inches an hour. If we see something like that, we'll likely have some flash flooding. All right, we have about 5 more minutes on the severe thunderstorm warning up over parts of Gregg County. The lightning has now come back on. It looked like it was dwindling and that we were maybe losing the strength in the thunderstorm. But one of the indicators of a strong updraft in the thunderstorm is lightning and the amount of lightning strikes that we're seeing. And also, when we see lightning like this, we know there is heavy rainfall also associated with that. So it is pouring for sure in areas near Longview out to the east of Longview. Let's see, update coming to us from the Weather Service, and they are saying in Cass County, 5 miles south-southeast of Douglasville, report of trees down along Farm to Market Road 995. So that's over in Cass County. So I do not have any reports of any damage in East Texas, at least around the Longview, Kilgore area. We had a question about Alto. Alto gets a thunderstorm. If they do, it'll be much later this afternoon, maybe even after 5 o'clock, could be closer to 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Per Longview Police Department, avoid the area of High Street underpass, High Street due to flooding. Okay, that's coming in from our assignment desk and our editors and reporters in the newsroom saying Longview Police Department, avoid the area of High Street underpass and the 100 block of High Street is avoided because of flooding, so high water in that area. All right, so we're about to get some rain in Tyler and a thunderstorm near Tyler Pounds, northwest side of town out towards Swan. Lightning strike Owentown right now. and Winona, some heavy rainfall. We were tracking some hail that was to the northwest up toward Hawkins, between Hawkins and Big Sandy. Let me see what the hail indicator is on this now. I'll turn that back on. See if we still have some hail to worry about. And it looks like that cell has come down appreciably as it's headed into Big Sandy. So that's good news. So the hail is coming down toward Big Sandy. All right. How about Gladewater? Gladewater is getting it right now, but let me see if Gladewater is looking at that hail, at that cell. That is tracking eastward toward Gladewater, may brush by Gladewater, but currently Gladewater is not under any type of severe thunderstorm warning, but is under a severe thunderstorm watch. So this looks like this is moving, this hail core now is moving east about 20 miles an hour. So as it moves east, it would be toward Big Sandy in about 5 minutes, Wilkins 136, Gladewater about 148. So a little bit of small hail into Gladewater in about a half hour. Then White Oak at about 2:04. All right, so that little hail core that we're tracking west of Big Sandy, that would be this one right here. And that's headed east. Here's Gladewater. So that's headed through Big Sandy, Gladewater. But again, there's a lot of lightning. Expect a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall. But at this moment, the hail core inside that cell is weakening. It's coming down a little bit. So you may get a hail shower or brief hail storm in the orders of pennies, dimes, maybe some pea-sized hail. I'm surprised I'm not hearing some reports over toward Hallsville or out east of Longview with some of that. It seemed to be that there was a little hail core over there that was producing. You can see it there. If I turn off the lightning, you can see a wide area of hail. In fact, that hail's come up a little bit just to the west of Nesbitt. So there's a little hail core there east of Longview. But and we did have reports of some, strangely colored skies due to probably some hail suspended in the clouds, and maybe even some of that hail falling out toward Spring Hill and down toward Darko. So that's what we have currently happening with that severe thunderstorm warning around Walker's Mill over toward Crossroads, and with that cell headed toward Oil City. So we've got about 45 seconds left to go on this severe thunderstorm warning. I'll see if the Weather Service plans to expand this or extend the warning. It doesn't appear so, especially since the hail core has come down. It may be replaced with what we call, again, a special weather statement for that cell. So it was stronger. No reports of any damage in any of the thunderstorms so far this afternoon here in East Texas. They continue. Let me turn off the hail core for a second, or I'll move it back below. Let me get rid of the, okay. So you can see just kind of the direction of movement. All right, so strong, yes. So that's what's going to happen here. So instead of having a severe thunderstorm warning on this cell, because the hailstones and the wind are not meeting severe criteria, meaning they're not at 58 miles an hour or stronger, and two, we don't have any quarter-sized hail being reported within this cell. So as that drops southeastward, and this cell also, part of that cell drops southeastward, this will be replaced by a special weather statement or significant weather advisory. And so, yeah, it's significant, but it just won't meet the criteria of the warning. And that goes until 2 o'clock. So that strong, that significant weather advisory for several counties on this cell, they're going to extend this to 2 o'clock. So let me stop this for you and give you an idea of what we're talking about. So you can see all of this. Now watch this. We're going to I'll put the track on the cell west of Shreveport. All of this. And southeast. All right, so this is where this is headed, toward Wascom, Kilgore, Greenwood. So this whole cluster here is headed into Rusk County, Panola County, Shelby County, Nacogdoches County, and even a portion of Smith County. So that's why that goes until 2 o'clock for the significant weather advisory. All right, so we're going to wrap up the coverage here and go reassess and kind of go over the data a little bit more. But again, this one cluster of showers and thunderstorms may be just one part of the show today. We'll still wait and see if something else initializes or initiates back toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But right now, this severe thunderstorm watch goes until 5 o'clock, but we currently no longer have any severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing. Continue posting any of your questions. I'll try to answer those for you here on our Facebook page, on CBS19.tv, and our YouTube page. Thanks for watching, and have a great afternoon.